Good afternoon, and we welcome you to the kickoff of the 2023 CIAA basketball tournament, our second year in the Charm City, the 78th men's basketball tournament, the 48th women's basketball tournament, and we're only 35 days away from tip-off in our newly renovated CFG Bank Arena. I am Tanya Walker. I'm the CIAA Senior Associate Strategic Communications Director and Director of Internal Operations, and I welcome you here today. We're excited about the offerings, the events, and the activities that come along with the 2023 CIAA basketball tournament. We're celebrating the Commissioner's 10-year anniversary, and how fitting that it is couched within the 50th anniversary of Title IX, and we'll be celebrating that throughout the year. This is an opportunity for us to engage local businesses, and this year we're having our first time scavenger hunt so that local businesses can get involved and those local participants, fans, can get in tune with some of those local businesses and as we tee up for the tournament. This is an impact on CIAA institutions, Bowie State as the host institution, and an opportunity for us to engage some of the local schools and colleges in the area. So today you will hear much more about many of the things that I've talked about. We will finish up, and then we'll have a friendly free throw competition between Mayor Scott's team and Commissioner McWilliams' team. We want to say thank you very much. Thank you as being gracious host to the Druid YMCA. And so I'd like to call up Tiffany Reinhardt to kick us off today. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. As Tanya mentioned, my name is Tiffany Reinhardt, and I have the privilege and the pleasure to provide leadership here at the Y in Druid Hill as the executive director. The historic Y in Druid Hill has played a significant role in Baltimore's history as a symbol of opportunity, enabler of personal growth, and advancement in the cause of equity for all. An anchor institution in the Druid Hill Upton community through vibrant and challenging times, the Druid Hill Y has been home to and instrumental in the lives of Baltimoreans from every walk of life. It has played a particularly meaningful role in the development of African Americans during segregation and throughout Baltimore's history, providing a safe space for community members to exercise, socialize, learn, and grow for over 100 years. During the era of segregation, the Druid Hill Y was the only place in Baltimore where African Americans could swim in an indoor pool. As children, Thurgood Marshall, who rose to become the first African American justice of the Supreme Court, and jazz legend Cab Calloway both lived within walking distance and learned to swim here at this very Y. Legendary U.S. Congressman Elijah Cummings and other people of prominence sprang from this community and were also members of the Druid Hill Y. With this rich history, it is only fitting that the Central Intercollegiate Athletic Association, the nation's oldest historically Black athletic conference, announce its return to Baltimore from the Y in Druid Hill. CIAA Commissioner Jackie McWilliams is the first female commissioner of the CIAA and the first appointed Black female commissioner of the 100 conferences representing the NCAA Division I, II, and III. This year, Commissioner McWilliams celebrates her 10th anniversary as the nation commemorates the 50th anniversary of Title IX. Woo-hoo! And the 11th CIAA Champion Basketball Tournament. Jackie McWilliams is a trailblazer and a pioneer for women in sports. I am personally excited to welcome the Commissioner and the CIAA to Baltimore and to the Y in Druid Hill. Please welcome Ms. Jackie McWilliams.
Good afternoon. Look, I'm ready to play basketball, and I do win. I just want you to know, Mayor. All right, we're in a gym, too. We're in the gym. This is why we're here. It's really about the game. Thank you, Tiffany, for hosting us here today. I'm such a community advocate and a person. Everything about community just gives me joy. And when we can be a part of it and integrate ourselves in it, it just reminds us what opportunities and dreams could really happen when we open up the doors for people who look like us. So thank you so much for opening up the doors. Al Hutchinson and Mayor, thank you so much for hosting the CIAA and our new governor that's coming in, all the work that you have done to get us here. It's extraordinary work. I told Al as we were sitting in the LOC meeting, I think for 5 seconds I was having some anxiety as I was hearing all the moving parts and the work that's being done. And I'm like, well, who's doing the work? And it's really the people around the table. And so thank you, staff and the LOC team, for making dreams happen for young people and for our community. Dr. Bro and Bowie State, such a pleasure always. She's the first, too, of many at Bowie State. When you talk about Title IX and the opportunity for having 5 women presidents in our conference, you have no idea what that looks like to sit around the table and see a diverse group of presidents from 30s all the way to seasoned adults that really give life and breath of why we're here and get to do the work that we get to do. So thank you so much for your leadership. It means everything. And Clyde and our athletic teams and our athletic directors and our 3,000 student athletes that we serve. This is just 2 championships out of the total 14 that we get to host. We have 8 women championships. That says a lot, too, that we support women's sports and men's sports collectively. So 2022 success proves Baltimore is perfect for hosting the CIAA. We're proud to be back in the Charm City. I just like the Charm City hashtag anyway. Queen City was cool, but Charm City says even more. And this year, we'll make it our home through 2025. The tournament is always hosted in Black History Month. We've talked about moving it several times, but it's really fitting to be the only event, the biggest event that's happening in the country in the athletic space, as we're known to be the 3rd largest event in the country. So we're excited to be in a new arena that will be diverse and bright and open to the public and to our fans in a way that it has never been, to even serve our seasoned population that can get around. When you talk about being in a facility that's accessible, that's important to us as well, given our fan base. So it's March Madness. We get to tee that up as we get into March, but CIAA really gets to start and kick that off for the entire basketball community. Baltimore has been instrumental to helping us bring back the focus. That's why we're here, because of basketball. That's what they sold, to raise the game, and they've done that. It demonstrated that last year, coming back after COVID, though we didn't know what it would look like, it felt like being at home. It felt like the game was the most important piece of why we do what we do, which is it is, and then all the wonderful things that happen outside of that. My dream is to sell out this facility. I don't know what your dream is, but we need to sell out the facility. We have a BOGO, buy one, get one free, that goes to midnight tonight, so we encourage you to get your tickets. All tickets are individual sales, but you can buy a book of tickets this week to get you through the entire week from Tuesday to Thursday, Saturday, championship day. I don't know where you can buy a book of 22 games and watch 24 teams. Is it 24? 24 teams, 22 games from Tuesday to Saturday for $225. That's $10 a game. To me, that's a BOGO still all by itself. So get your tickets for the week. As one of the country's top 10 cities in the highest percentage of Black or African American residents, one that celebrates and amplifies Black culture, Baltimore is the perfect destination for our tournament. After being hosted in the Queen City for 15 years, this move since 2021 has been phenomenal for us in how we embrace culture in the African American community, but our 12-member institutions that look and represent just what this community looks like. So in 30 days is my birthday. On the 17th, I'll be here. But in 35 days, we'll be able to occupy all your hotels downtown, $200 or less. Will occupy all the 10,000 seats in the arena, and the hospitality events from the time you enter the city in every space that we can occupy, from alumni events, fan events, student athletes events will be here. The building, I said, is more inclusive and more accessible, and we're excited. We will mobilize 12 bands, 12 cheerleading teams, and a bunch of student athletes. If you just start with students alone, they're going to fill the building. We'll be on the ESPN platform where you'll get to watch all of the games. That's exciting as well. We'll have a diverse commentating crew from women, national women commentators, and also men. Our women's game will be highlighted as the last game, not the first game this year. We have flip-flopped our schedule to honor and celebrate Title IX. To me, that is exciting as a former CIAA player, that we're not gonna be the last game, we'll be the first. We won't be the first game, we'll be the last. I think both games are pretty great, first or last, but to highlight all the work that we're doing to celebrate these women, they'll have that second game. It will be hard for Lincoln University and Fayetteville State to defend their championship, because when you come to the tournament, you don't know who's gonna win from start to finish. Sometimes the last team becomes the first team, and sometimes the first team ends up the first. But you will see some exciting women's and men's games. So we welcome and celebrate our student athletes the day prior. On that Monday, they'll come in and we'll host them. We start with them because we end with them. And so we hope that you'll celebrate with us as well. We'll also celebrate some of our legends. Bobby Bond will be back. Bobby Bond is our most valuable award that we give for men's basketball, Dr. Peggy Green. These are legends that we should all know that are important and have contributed to the game. CIAA fans are fans of the tournament, their teams in the game, and it's a family reunion that sets any event in the country apart from this basketball. It's a homecoming. The CIAA is committed to building a new legacy in Baltimore by making a positive impact on Baltimore's economy, and I know Al will say more about that. There is something for everyone when you come for our tournament. We have an incredible team and staff, as I said, promoters, contractors that are essential to our success, Van Wagner Sports that helps us with our television, and our partners, CIAA staff who just amazing. Can you raise your hand? Because without them, it just really makes it hard to get the work done. Thank you for your leadership and your collaboration with all of our entities. We'll have our first ever alumni party, which I think is pretty exciting. Our step show is already sold out, so good luck if you can step your way on the outside to get in, because it's sold out. But some of our other events are still available and open, so I'd encourage you to go on our website, ciaatournament.org. CIAA fans, student athlete, and the Baltimore community can expect another incredible in-person community experience, including Education Day, Career Day, Shoes of Hope, which will be at a school to give 300 plus shoes away, a special tribute, as you heard Ms. Walker talk about, Title IX Trailblazers, the scavenger hunt. We love food, we love Baltimore food, and we do love crabs and obey, so I will be here for that early. So that's exciting. Local businesses, Super Saturday. We want everyone to come. If you don't have a ticket, come participate in that, the Fan Fest. New offerings in conjunction with Visit Baltimore and the local organized committee, and there's much more surprises in venue and outside of the venue. So just follow us on our social media. Lastly, I will say again, as Tanya has teed us up, it is a special year for Title IX, and to me, we should be celebrating the day every day as we celebrate Black history, every day as we should be celebrating LGBTQ, every day. Everybody is important. Everybody that matters is a part of the CIAA, and we celebrate you. But this year is the 50th anniversary. It's a law. It's important to us to highlight that and make sure that our students know, that you know, that we celebrate a law that has given myself an access and a seat at the table, as it has given Dr. Bro and many of the women in here because of the male support. So thank you, our males, for giving us the access and opportunity that we need, that sometimes we don't get it without you. We appreciate you. I'm grateful for a board that chose me, and I'm humbled to be led by the first woman president, as I said, from Bowie State, Dr. Bro, who's our chair of our board, with 5 of the 12 women, as I said earlier, two athletic directors, that are ADs in the CIAA. And again, 8 of 4 of our championships are women's sports. This is important, and I'll keep talking about it because it should be important to you, because we want your women and your men to come to CIAA institutions. So we're pleased to be one of the few tournaments to feature both male and female competition during the same week and at the same facility, placing the male and female athletes on the same playing field. This year, we will be the highlight of our women's championship, as I said, following the men's championship, and we want to pack the house to recognize the progression that we've had over 48 years. So we're celebrating 50 years, but it's the 48th year for women's basketball. We'll have something special in 2 years for the 50th, actually, women's basketball tournament. So we'll acknowledge, as Tanya said, many of our trailblazers, and looking forward to that. And I will share with you in our Hall of Fame, it's an all-women class of women that will be celebrated. And it happens to be the team that I played on, the 1988 women's national basketball team. It's funny because when I presented it, I didn't present it like I was part of the team, but I am part of the team. So when they cut up, that's not me, that's them just playing. They're excited to have a great time. So at the end of the day, I said I would stay on my notes because I didn't want to forget all the great things that are happening. It is a lot going on CIAA week. We cannot do it without the community. I appreciate the media coming here and helping us tell our stories. There's a lot of great stories to be told, and we are the best storytellers of our own story. So as we get ready in 35 days, I said 30 days because it's my birthday, that's a plug, shameless plug, but in a few days, in a few weeks, we will be here to take over Baltimore, and we are going to be the charm that you need and that you provide to us to make a bigger, better city and a tournament for all of us around the country. I know this is local, but you have no idea that this really is a national championship for us. The student athletes that win this championship will go to the next level, but at the end of the day, I hope that the young people, the seasoned people, and the community will embrace everything that we do, because I love this conference. I love this conference. It's an incredible place to be and to lead. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of the great city of Baltimore, and looking forward to the next few weeks to come. God bless. Well, I didn't stay on script because I'm supposed to invite the mayor up here, my contestant. Mayor Scott, thank you so much for your leadership. I know you get to run a city, I get to run a conference, and what you do is probably a lot harder than what I do, but the beauty of it is that we get to do something together to really build out your community. And so thank you for the opportunity. Thank you all for saying yes, and please welcome our mayor, Mayor Scott.
Thank you, Madam Commissioner. And before I get started, let's clear things up. There is no friendly in this competition. The commissioner's a shooter, I'm a shooter, so shooters shoot. And we don't make any apologies for that, which is why as soon as I got here and saw her ready to shoot, I changed from my suit into a sweatsuit. So thank you, Madam Commissioner, for being here, and thank you for that introduction. There is only one thing that I'm more excited about than being here today, and that's that the CIAA tournament is a few weeks away. We know now that we're in this period. We just had a great MLK Day here in Baltimore with a day of service and a parade, because we know what our history means. For 110 years, the CIAA has been the premier African-American athletic conference in the United States, and its basketball tournament is one of the most highly anticipated events in America. And yes, the commissioner is right. It is a black family reunion each and every year. I met 3 family members that I didn't know in the stands last year. That's how the CIAA gets down. Last year, the CIAA tournament was not just a great athletic event and opportunity for students, alumni, and friends to come together for a great black time. It was an economic boom for the city of Baltimore, and allowed us to see and allow people to see, especially those coming from outside, the renaissance that is taking place right before our feet each and every day in this very, very special city. We are so grateful for the nearly $20 million generated from the event in 2022, from the engagement of more than 100 minority-owned businesses to the utilization of our great hotels and restaurants that this tournament saw and brought to Baltimore the best of Baltimore, the best of what we have to offer. And we know that as we are now moving even further out and dealing with the pandemic, that things will only be bigger, better, and blacker in 2023. And this tournament is such a great opportunity for visitors to see the many small businesses that we have here in Baltimore, such as Mess in the Bottle. I know you will hear from Kalia in a few moments. Yes, I had on another message yesterday in the parade, if you wonder where I got my shirt from. And it is clear that we're here in Baltimore are not only the ones who saw that this is a good fit, or that the CIAA, somebody's iPhone is going off in the back. That's the commissioner trying to distract me at the free throw line. But we're not the only ones that saw that the CIAA and Baltimore go together like crabs and obey. Baltimore is an ideal venue to hold this great event, and the CIAA in basketball terms decided to run it back with us through 2025, and for that, the entire city of Baltimore is grateful to you, Madam Commissioner, to you, Dr. Bro, thank you. So, this is my pitch message. So everyone who is looking for the experience of a black excellence or a blickety-blickety black time, as I like to say, and a good time at that, during this Black History Month, make sure you get your tickets now. Come to Baltimore for the CIAA. Don't wait. There is no better place to see it. Don't ask the mayor for tickets, because unless you're a child, the answer is going to be no. Buy your tickets now and come have a great CIAA black time, because there is no better place to enjoy the black excellence that is the CIAA than one of America's blackest cities that has such deep roots and history in black American culture, and where we know we will continue to help the CIAA shine. So before I sit down and get ready to smoke the commissioner and her team just like I did last year, I want to thank the commissioner once again for choosing and betting on Baltimore, and I wish her and all the participating schools good luck. Of course, I'm a little biased to Bowie because they're here and we're hosting. Don't tell the other presidents. President Abdullah, shh, just be quiet. But he can't hear me, thank you. We want to thank you all for choosing to be here in Baltimore. And I, as a basketball fan, am ecstatic that the women's game is going to be the final game, because the women's game has better fundamentals of the game anyway. Thank you very much. And with that, I will bring up the most interesting man in the world, the man who goes out and sells Baltimore to the world, who does a great job of making sure that people know that this city is a great city, and that folks need to come and visit it and experience and crack that crab open in a place where we put Old Bay on everything, even our eggs. I bring up our Visit Baltimore CEO, Al Hutchison.
So good afternoon. How's everybody? Everybody good? This is an exciting time now. We're at a real exciting time, and I want to start off from the top. And the top is to really thank Mayor Scott for the financial investment to go after this tournament. If it had not been for Baltimore City providing the financials to go after this tournament, it could not have happened. So Mayor Scott, thank you for that. Thank Governor Hogan, really led by Lieutenant Governor Rutherford. The state has made a financial commitment to this tournament that we needed. And then the third component is on the private sector side. And I'll mention some of those players in a minute, but that was led by Zach McDaniels, Angelica Butcher, to get money from the private sector. This is a big deal. It's about a $4 million budget. Mayor mentioned we got $20 million back in economic impact, so it's well worth the investment. You put 4 in, you get 20 back, that's a good deal. So I really want to thank those folks for that. And I also want to thank the media as well for coming out to this event, because the media plays a role here. We need the media to tell the full story of why the CIAA is important, not only to Baltimore, but it's important to the country. 12 historically black colleges and universities, who some are under-resourced. They need more resources. They take care of great students. And there's some little guy, some little girl here in Baltimore City and in Maryland that may want to go to one of these great institutions. The media can help us to tell those stories, and we really appreciate you being here. But what I'll say to you, back in 2018, when a group of us went after this tournament, A lot of folks didn't believe that we could woo this tournament from Charlotte, North Carolina after 15 years. It took a very committed effort, city, state, stakeholders, and also took some vision. Because in my opinion, this tournament is hand in glove to Baltimore City. Predominantly African-American conference in a predominantly African-American city. It worked, it feels right. But in 2022, the first year we had live basketball, it went well both economically, but it went well culturally. Because it was extremely important, if we're gonna go after this great conference basketball tournament of men and women, we really had to celebrate the small African-American owned businesses here in Baltimore. We want to celebrate basketball, but how do we connect the businesses in this great community? And I think in 2022, we demonstrated that over 100 small Black-owned businesses received back over $1 million in economic impact. That was a first. That did not happen in Charlotte. And so we were excited about that because I think that's real important. It makes a statement about the value of this tournament. And I too want to celebrate Title IX that makes sure women aren't prevented from leading universities, from leading conferences. If you don't know Title IX, definitely research that because that's a big deal in this country because women weren't always at the table. We got more to do, but we needed that legislation. And definitely want to celebrate the commission after 10 years in this conference of leading the charge. That's a tough job this young lady has, but she does it as a scholar, she does it professionally, she does it as an intellect. And for that, Commissioner, grateful for your leadership. But this tournament now coming in 2023, we need all of you all to help us because this is most cities in America, think about this, the last week in February, most communities would die for this kind of business. Most communities struggle the last week in February for business, including Baltimore did. And what this tournament has done for us is revive the business community, our hotels, our restaurateurs. But then, most importantly, we're able to showcase the gem of Baltimore because folks from all across the country come to this great city and they see what we're all about. What those of us who live here, we know, but the world doesn't know. And so now in 2023, Omicron's gone. We're sort of on the other side of COVID. You can write this down. It's probably gonna be double the number of people here in Baltimore than there were last year. Folks coming. You know how we are. We wanna see what happens first. A lot of naysayers, folks on the fence. You all make it work, and then I'll come check you out. The word went back to Greensboro and Raleigh and Charlotte and South Carolina and Richmond. They're coming. Get ready. Because last year it was done extremely well under really dire circumstances. And it was our first time doing it. So I'm excited about 2023. Thanks to the commish, Dr. Bro, for giving us a 2-year extension. Our contract is up in 2023. We had a 3-year deal, 21, 2, and 3. But thankfully, they've committed to us for 2 more years. And we want to keep it even longer. But we're going to need everybody in this room to help us do this the best they've seen it. And really, I mentioned earlier, the private sector, I have to mention some of these names because this is extremely important of who really helped us on the private sector side. Companies like Bank of America, Care First, Whiting Turner, Verizon, Under Armour, BWI Marshall Airport, Wells Fargo, BGE, Fraport, Fulton Bank, Horseshoe, Fearless, the Ravens, the Oreos, Reginald F. Lewis, Ellen and Tucker. Each one of those firms wrote a check. Tournament can't happen without that. For that, we're forever grateful. But also want to go back to the media sponsors and our exclusive local broadcast partner, WBAL TV. Thank you for your confidence in us. The Baltimore Times, thank you for your confidence in us. The Afro, the Baltimore Banner, thank you for your confidence in us. because again, we cannot, Maryland Public Television, thank you. We could not do this by ourselves. This is a big, big deal. We're proud to be able to host it. And the last thing I want to say to you is, one of the concerns of the tournament, the 12 presidents, Dr. Bro included, Dr. Abdullah, was how are you guys going to deal with public safety? That's an elephant in the room, but that's very important. And we partnered with the Baltimore Police Department. We partnered with the Waterfront Partnership, Downtown Partnership, all their guides. All of the public safety agencies in Baltimore were at the table and are still at the table. We communicate once a month with the chief of police at each campus of the 12 colleges and universities. We have a very comprehensive conversation because number one, we want our residents to be safe and feel comfortable, and we want the fan base to feel safe and comfortable, and the student athletes. We don't take that seriously. Mayor Scott, you've been a great supporter in your leadership through this effort. We had 0 incidents last year. 0. Because we made a commitment to make sure everyone feels comfortable and safe. We're going to repeat that this year because that's important. Because we want to keep the tournament here. We need to make sure the student athletes and fans go back to their homes and say, come to Baltimore, because that's a great city. So look, I'm grateful and thankful for what all folks have done to make the CIAA great in 2022. 23 has to be even that much more spectacular, and I know we will do it. And it all starts with leadership. And Dr. Bro has been a very instrumental partner in what we do. Bowie State, host institution. We could not have done that without the leadership of someone like Dr. Bro. So at this time, I really want to bring Dr. Bro up to offer her greetings and welcome. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Bro.
Thank you, Al. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you for being an amazing leader and partner in this endeavor. It has been truly exciting. Can you feel the excitement growing? I know I can. And I can't wait to see Mayor Scott, you get out on that court, already talking stuff out here, and so we're going to have great excitement in just a little while. I'm here today to bring greetings on behalf of Bowie State University, but also as the chair of the board of directors for the CIAA on behalf of the 12 member institutions who are also very, very excited and looking forward to next month's tournament. And we will be arriving here in Charm City not too long from now. And we did note, Commissioner, the birthday message. So we have the calendars marked. We have it marked. I'd like to again acknowledge and thank Mayor Scott, Al Hutchinson of Visit Baltimore, and the many elected officials also who have been leading the way to ensure the success of this historic event, the CIAA tournament. It is so much more than a basketball tournament, as you're hearing here today, and by now I hope you've heard many others just talk about from last year, because it was a truly remarkable and successful event. I also want to give thanks to our corporate partners for your outstanding, outstanding support. You heard about those successes last year, and we could not do what happened last year without you. So thank you to our corporate partners and so many who have supported this tournament. This year promises to be another successful year as we celebrate the 10th anniversary for our commissioner. Congratulations, Commissioner McWilliams. It's been a wonderful journey with you, and we're just getting started. So please give her another round of applause. We thank you so very much. And we will reach another milestone this year when we welcome the first African American to serve as governor in Maryland, Governor Wes Moore. He's not here, but give him a round of applause. He has a few things going on tomorrow, so we will be celebrating him and lifting him up tomorrow. He's no stranger to the CIAA, but he will be wearing a different hat after tomorrow, so we're looking forward to having him come in and celebrate the CIAA. Last year, I had the honor of sitting courtside with Mayor Scott, watching the games throughout the week. He is a staunch fan of basketball, as you're already hearing, as he's warming up for his free throw competition today. and it was the most exciting tournament last year. So much so that Mayor Scott wanted to be even more engaged this year, and so he will be out on the court in just a little bit. I call that passion, I call that leadership, to see someone who doesn't just come out and he's just talking about what this tournament means, but he's actually engaging, he's excited about the event, and so we welcome his strong leadership and his passion that he's bringing to this event. We will also continue our recognition of the anniversary of Title IX, as it's been said earlier, and those who have led the way for greater opportunities for women in athletics and sport. The excitement is building as we see the banners around the city and back on the campuses. Students will be prepping for the step shows and readying themselves for what's to come, cheering on their teams on the sidelines, and you'll see our cheerleaders, the bands, all of the excitement with the step show and so much more. Plus, today's free throw showdown will undoubtedly, I'm sure, is going to create even more buzz. I was trying to sell some tickets out there because I know folks want to see this. I'm going to be front and center for this. So congrats already to all of the participants today. You're all winners in my eyes. How am I doing as the chair of the board? You're all winners. The CIAA basketball tournament, it is a long tradition that brings great excitement to the host city to celebrate the excellence of our student athletes, celebrate Black culture, and to support the community. And I want to repeat that, to support the community. We are here not just as visitors, but we want to support the community, the local businesses, and you heard that that is indeed what happened last year with the benefit of $20 million that was brought to the economy for Charm City. BSU is the sole member institution in Maryland and the oldest HBCU in Maryland, is very, very proud to once again serve as the host university. We have a deep and rich history here in Charm City. We were founded in the basement of a church at the corner of Saratoga and Calvert Streets in 1865. And today we remain staunchly committed to building on that history and creating a new legacy in Baltimore by making positive impacts on the city economy. And as a member institution of the University System of Maryland's public universities, we are here to continue that we ensure a pathway to higher education and upward mobility for the citizens of Maryland. Baltimore has a proud African American history and celebrates Black culture. It is the perfect CIAA host city, given the history of the CIAA as the oldest African American athletic conference. And we believe it is only fitting to bring the tournament to Baltimore during Black History Month. The city serves as a welcoming destination for all. It is centrally located, and as our host city, attracts new fans and alumni along the Northeast Corridor and exposes new audiences to all that the CIAA and Charm City have to offer. And for those coming from Prince George's County, there's a train station right on Bowie State University's campus. Get on the train and come on up to Charm City, because we want you here celebrating all the excellence that we will see during that week. This location also affords a unique opportunity to work collaboratively with former CIAA member institutions and their alumni, including Morgan State, University of Maryland Eastern Shore, and Howard University, as well as other Maryland-based HBCUs like Coppin University. And so, the excitement is here. It's right around the corner. The tournament is upon us, and we are ready to go. The success in 2022 proves Baltimore is the perfect CIAA host city, and we are thrilled to be back here in Charm City, looking forward to the crab cakes and all that helps to welcome our visitors to Charm City. So mark your calendars, February 21st through the 25th in the CFG Bank Arena, and the many events taking place throughout that week. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the arena. Thank you so much.
Real quick, two quick things. I saw Sanjay out here. I want to mention her because she's heading up a lot of the events, Tech Summit, Financial Summit, and Wellness Summit. That's open to the public, so please see Sanjay if you're interested in doing that. And now, without further ado, small businesses that we really mention a lot during this presentation. I want Kalila Wright to come up with Message on a Bottle, and she's now our Pearl partner here. She's going to share with you a little bit about her business.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be in this space. Thank you to Visit Baltimore for having me. So as my message today as a Black woman created this, it's very empowering to be able to come out and, have Baltimore really support small businesses, especially during CIAA. I think as a small business, a lot of us, having the transition and through the pandemic, we were a little worried, like, okay, you're bringing basketball and these very popular tournaments, but how does it support and really help small businesses? And I know that that's what a lot of the businesses want to know. And Visit Baltimore did some great things last year where they had like scavenger hunts, and we are located actually on the light rail. And so there's many Baltimoreans that don't even take the light rail. They may not even know how great the system is. So I think that having the tournament, and we are extremely close to downtown, but partnering with local small women-owned businesses especially, I think it helps to propel the economy, and it really helps for people to know that there is a lot more to Baltimore. And there's a lot of hidden talent here. There's a lot of artists, creatives, people who are doing major things here in the city. So I'm super excited for CIAA because it is not just about Baltimore. It is honestly amplifying small, Black-owned, women-owned businesses. Thank you.
Well, we're going to have a small deviation in the run of show in that we're going to go straight to the free throw competition because Mayor Scott has a meeting and has the hard stop at 3:50. So if you would give us a moment to clear things out, we'll go into the free throw. You can sit fine over here because everything's on this side of the court, but we will return for a Q&A session immediately after the free throw competition. Thank you.